KKHT wants you to meet three of the classiest guys in real estate.
I am Chris Kelso, the maestro of mortgage.
I am Rob Cook, the godfather of real estate.
And I'm Joe Orsack, the king of credit swing. And together, we're
the Real Estate Rat Pack.
Much like us, real estate right now is smoking hot. So whether it's buying, selling, or owning, you need to check out the Real Estate Rat Pack.
They're here to take your calls and answer your questions live. Call now 1-800-808-5548. And now, the Real Estate Rat Pack!
Joe's in line at Starbucks waiting to get his coffee.
You missed it last week and the week prior.
Yeah, we had an important show. We had Bill King on, who's a mayoral candidate, and had two beautiful substitute guest hosts. So
I looked at a lot of the pictures.
Yeah.
Does that count?
So your contracts are in jeopardy pretty much.
Yeah, expired, right?
So, yes, exactly, expired. The sound you're hearing is your contract expiring. Yes,
I do.
Anyway,
I do remember.
I've never seen this many people in the studio at one time. I'm sure the fire marshal's going to come find us.
Yes, but I'll tell you, we have the greatest
station
in Houston right now.
Listening, we're only kidding. There's just the three of us.
That's right. We're bringing them in one at a time, but we're going to start off with our own Christy Stratton. She is with the Champion School of Business Etiquette, and she's going to give us 5 minutes on how we should behave because God knows I need
it. Good morning, gentlemen. Chris, I see that maybe you took some of my tips from last time.
Absolutely. I took a little bit of your tips from last time. I got rid of the old shirt. I took off the glasses, and I tucked in my shirt today.
Look at that.
Yeah. So,
improvements already now.
Improvements
and
already.
Fewer,
it's little things.
Profane gestures and words on his shirts.
Yeah, we talked about some interesting words last time, didn't we?
Yes. We can't repeat them on air anymore, unfortunately.
Or on social media, which is what we're going to talk
that
about
is
today. Look at that transition.
According to management, there's a probation period.
I see a lot of bad behavior on social media out there, so I'm sure you're going to enlighten us a little bit on how people should behave.
Yes, given that we have so many folks here today, I'm going to do it very quickly with a list. But, the first thing I want to talk about very quickly with social media is, it can really help you, your company, your brand. My background's in public relations and marketing. And I kind of see it as the new PR. So you can really share what your company is about or what you're about in a nice way and a platform, not the opposite. So we have a little list for you. A couple things you want to think about is don't post what you don't want your prospective employer to read or view about you. And in real estate, who's our prospective employer?
Everybody.
Really, ultimately, everyone, right?
Wow, Joe, you can no longer post on Facebook.
Yeah, that pretty much excludes 90% of my posts.
Absolutely.
And what really I like to talk more about what you can do as opposed to getting right into what you can't do. Just make your landing pages very interesting. It's about engagement these days, sharing information. It's David Sherry with Visibly Connected, if you guys may or may not know him.
Yep.
He says it's
guy.
social media, not sell media, right?
Exactly.
So you want to share information. So I say, what's your three? What's your greater message that you're trying to get out there? And then what's your personal niche? What are three things important with you and your business? So those are a couple of kind of top level what you can do. Here's the list. Ready? Everybody have your pencils?
Okay.
Okay. Ask yourself, could this post offend anyone? Right? Well,
once again, there went 90% of my posts.
Oh,
everybody's scratching their head right now in the studio.
So I'll jump to this. We have to be careful about keeping our religious, political, and personal point of view to
all
yourselves.
in one post.
Yeah. And so how about this one?
Expedience in posting.
Don't vent. What's funny, I talk about this. You see people say, I never vent on social media. And then, all of a sudden,
but I'm going to today, right?
I'm going to today.
So my comments like, Hillary is the spawn of Satan are probably not.
Yeah,
probably not the best.
What I'm hearing.
Okay.
Exhibit A of what we're doing.
I tried to cover religion and politics in one post.
We'll talk.
Yeah, I'm going to pay for his class.
Yeah, apparently. Come on.
Because he certainly needs it.
Okay, so just a few more things. Is my spelling correct? And grammar. And oh, by the way, you want to make sure that you're not writing in all caps. We've probably heard that before, but I see a lot of folks in writing in all capitalization on social media, and so that kind of applies
How
there.
about all the OMG, T, D, like that?
to be taken as a professional, we're talking about in your professional world. And utilizing that to build your brand, you want to be careful with those sorts of things. And, the happy faces. And I mean, hey, you still want to have your own personal self out there. It's not this we talked about that last time. Etiquette's not about perfection. You still want to be you. But, be a little cautious, right?
I want to be the perfect man.
So we want to be careful about the pictures that we put out there as well. And, you might have a little something in your hand. So be careful about what's always in your hand, i.e. your cocktails.
Like a glass of wine you
like
talking
a
about?
glass of wine. I know you guys are hating me right now. You're about to pull me off, right?
Don't say little something in this group, by the way.
Well, that's true.
I think we have to get rid of the entire Rat Pack brand at this point.
And then you want to be careful how many times you post, too. There's a lot more things that we could talk about, but posting so often, and think about when you're posting. If you're on, all hours of the day and you go into your boss and you say, I'm not selling anything, I'm not doing anything. They're like, well, you're on Facebook all the time. What are you doing? So because they can see where you are and they can see how much time you're spending on social
Rob, those
media.
1 o'clock in the morning posts about you leaving a bar on a Monday, they have to stop.
Not guilty.
So the 1 o'clock posts and things like that, as far as, you want to make sure they're not engaging, not about your kind of a picture of your food or maybe a picture of, talking about that you couldn't sleep, things like that. You want to be careful about share content.
Yeah,
Content is king.
And please make it interesting.
Interesting. Content is king. Just remember that and you'll be good to go.
Although I've had some mild posts. Last week I posted that I had spaghetti for breakfast. You can't believe how many comments.
I know that worked. But it was interesting, right?
Yeah.
But you did include something in there a little bit more, right? About being single.
Oh, yeah.
So that prompted.
The pleasures of single life is spaghetti for breakfast.
Yes.
So anyway.
So there you have it.
So typically when I post anything on social media, it's going to be like if you met me. I'm going to talk a little bit about business. I'm going to talk a little bit about myself, and I'm never going to use profanity. And I never get political on on Facebook. Although one of my partners here love to get it. No, the only thing political I ever did, I said, please, the voting times, please vote, but please do some research before you cast your ballot. That's the only thing I've ever posted about politics. And I will not engage somebody in politics. And if they do get overbearing, because there's some people I've unfriended strictly because they got on a rant.
Is that why you and Joe aren't friends anymore on Facebook?
Joe doesn't really rant.
I do post contentious subjects.
Do you think?
But I genuinely enjoy dialogue, and so my effort while I do post contentious subjects is to be with every effort possible to leave conjecture, to leave all the ad hominem, just attacking people rather than attacking a viewpoint or whatever else out of the conversation, to try to keep it unemotional.
Right.
Spawn of Satan wasn't really unemotional, by the way.
I'll knock your brains out if you had any.
Yeah. Just going to let you know that, Joe.
To that, Joe, that's one thing. Some folks decide that's going to be their kind of niche, as far as not even just bringing about, not contentious, but discussion points, right?
Yeah.
And if you're going to hold tight to your niche, then do it, and do it well, and do it loudly, if you will. Otherwise, be very careful, especially a real estate agent. You're working with all sorts of different, groups and personalities and diversities, and you just want to be careful because you might find that you kind of offend an entire group. So.
Yeah, the trick is the emotion part, and the crazy part is that that I've found, even in when you're discussing something that's has the opportunity for emotion, that some people will become offended at your unemotional response. Yeah. And because of that, they go crazy with it. But,
Yeah, Joe is.
It is social media, right? So
I am.
You want to have a two-way dialogue.
Yes. Iron sharpens iron.
So, is there any last thoughts on social media that you want to part with? Because we've got a cast of thousands. It's like a Cecil B. DeMille production in here today.
Hey. Just if you want to know more, reach out to me. You can reach out to me. Call me on my personal cell. It's 281-658-2335. It's out there. You can call it for any questions. Also, championsbusinessetiquette.com for more information to join one of our classes.
And how often do you teach that class in town? Because I know you travel quite a bit now.
Yeah, there's 7 locations of Champion School of Real Estate, and so I'm at each location about once every 2 months. So the new schedule's coming out for the balance of the year.
And they'll post that on the website.
They'll post that on championsbusinessetiquette.com.
That is the Etiquette Minute. Are sponsored by the way, Tim O'Neill with State Farm.
Yes.
Tim O'Neill!
Hey,
yes.
in the house.
In the house.